Hi. I had the beautiful opportunity to meet with another lady on this Breatharian path. She lives here in the city as well. And she told me, we were talking about our experiences on this path and what we are going through these days, and just sharing a bit about the journey, our journeys. And it seemed to me like we had very similar experiences, which was interesting. But she mentioned something that really stuck with me, because it was something that I wanted to look at as well. She said, these days I am I'm not sure exactly how she said it, so it's just from what I remember. She said that I'm learning to love my inner addict. So what you resist, what you keep fighting, what you keep resisting will just follow you like a dog. I think she made a post about this where she said that it will follow you like a faithful dog until you release it, until you give it your attention, until you satisfy it. So I see it basically as something, a part of me that wants to get my attention, but it keeps getting neglected, it keeps being refused, it keeps being pushed away, and it's almost like it's chasing me, because, so now I'm talking for my own experience, like this inner addict is like, I'm so afraid of it. I'm so afraid of living, or afraid of inviting that being into my experience, that it's like it's chasing me, and it's gonna continue doing that, I think, until I really give it my attention and kind of transform my relationship to it. Everything in life is relationships, I think, as well. There's just how I relate to everything in my world and everything inside me as well, not just in my external world, but also everything that I relate to that is within me. So it's a relationship that I cannot ignore it. I cannot pretend it doesn't exist. This inner addict, it's there. So there's a relationship, and until I heal that relationship with my inner addict, it's gonna just hunt me, it's gonna chase me around. And so I was thinking, like, loving my inner addict. How do I do that, How do I do that? But then I'm realizing a lot. I keep saying the same things. I'm sorry for my lack of vocabulary or phrases. I realized, and I suddenly realized. Anyway, so I realized that I don't have to do anything, really. Not much, when I love something, I'm not really doing much, you know. I'm just in this, it's kind of like a state of being. Loving is a state of being and of a state of relating to something. It's like an emotion, a feeling. So I decided yesterday to invite that addict. And I've been kind of doing it the past days I was in Amsterdam, and I've kind of been aware of this, you know, when I eat, even though it does go against my logic in terms of, you know, doing it for my health. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me anymore to eat for my well-being in a physical sense. But when I've been eating the past times, I've really paid attention to, you know, not feeling guilty, not feeling ashamed. And I mean, I didn't like that I was eating, but I was aware that, okay, it's not going to help my body to process this information, this food, if I'm in a state of guilt or shame or any kind of negative emotion. So I practiced kind of the switching over to like, okay, so wow, we got food in our body, so what can I do? You know, I was like trying to move the energy with my hands, and now I'm very aware with this, where my attention goes, my energy goes. So I just bring my attention to where I want more energy, and that way I can process the food better. And you know, it's just like kind of, you know, no, it doesn't help me to feel guilty or ashamed. You know, it can, of course, they are teachers, but in that case, I was just done with that teacher. I didn't need to feel guilty or ashamed by eating. I'm kind of, you know, they have taught me enough, so I was able to move, you know, it was like, this is so interesting, right? Self-discovery is so big anyway. So I invited my inner addict. I said, you know, come here, let's experience it. Let's experience being addicted. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you anymore, because I know that in order to let go of you, not that I need to let go of you, but to actually, maybe not let go, maybe more just to be at peace with you. I want to meet you, I want to get to know you, and I invite you, and I'm not afraid of you, and I will not lose anything by loving you, you know, dear addict. I will love you, and by loving you, there's nothing I can lose, you know? There's nothing I can lose. Because it's a really transformative emotion. It has so much power. And so, yeah, the interesting thing is that I'm really, you know, and I wrote an article also last night after an experience, and I will put a link to it as well. Maybe you will like to read it. It's a short text. But so I'm still inviting it. It's my inner addict is welcome anytime to be there and receive my love. and feel more understood and connect with me on a deeper level, and not just being pushed away and being looked at as a monster, you know? So I'm inviting it. I'm not deciding now I'm gonna do, you know, I'm kind of the decision I made last night was like, okay, I'm going to, you know, be on juices and liquids and a very low consumption, and I will focus on my creativity, the things that I want to do in a day. You know, I want to stretch, I want to meditate, I want to take care of my inner child, I want to listen to Peter and the Wolf again today. And I want to go out in nature, there's so many things I want to do. Like I have all this time, and it's such a gift, and I want to do so much with it. And it's just a matter of sitting down and meditating and receiving the inspiration to getting ideas of what to do with all this time, right? So, but at the same time, I will not refuse to spend time with the addict, because I know it's important. And I think, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. It's also a matter of just surrendering to this experience, you know, seeing what it can bring to me, not being afraid of this experience, not being afraid of, ooh, you know, if I invite this addict, it's going to just take over my life and I'll just be consumed and swallowed and drowned by this addict, and nothing will exist in my life except for, like, no. You know, this is, again, I'm not losing anything by loving, truly loving, you know, whatever it is. Because love is a transformative emotion and energy. And I wanted to say that, for instance, yesterday I invited my addict. I decided to have soup with my partner, and then right after we finished eating the soup, I went straight to like, oh, I want bread with chocolate spread, you know, that Nutella, like white bread, like a sandwich. I was like, wow, really? Am I already there? You know, I just had this beautiful soup. Why am I going, you know? So I was like, no, we can resist that. But then we went for a walk, me and my partner, and on the way back home, I was like, no, you know what? That was when I decided to invite my addict. And by just loving the experience, loving being curious about this addict, and just observing it and feeling, you know, maybe I'm not quite there that I am loving it, but I was so neutral, and I was just like, yeah, this is interesting, you know? And we are practicing this, allowing it and not feeling afraid of it, just being very calm. And you know what? I ate, you know, chocolate and white bread, and more than I would think is reasonable, you know? And I didn't feel bad at all. I slept well. I felt energetic. I didn't feel very tired in the evening, even though I was eating late. I woke up relatively early. I'm not saying that, you know, food is good for me and the best thing to do for my body. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, in the past, with a different energy, with a different mindset, with a different emotion related to that experience, I would feel so bad. I would go even deeper into it. I would go to a point where I would just feel so awful, and I would just, you know, I've had those binging kind of experiences in my past, and this was nothing like it. And this morning, I still had, you know, I bought a jar of this chocolate spread. I said, you can have it, you know. If you want to continue being an addict this morning, it's fine. You can do that. And I did that, and it was fine. And I also feel fine. I feel, you know, it's all well. Yeah, let's see. I don't know what's gonna happen with this, but it's just something that I imagine that this could be very powerful. This approach to just basically everything in life. You know, the more you resist it, that's the sentence, right? The more you resist, like, how do you say it? The more you resist, the more you persist. It's like, yeah, the more you fight it, the more it wants your attention, or, you know what I mean. So, yeah, I am, yeah, I think less fear of this addict, less fear, more love can bring great healing and yeah, and move on from it. Doesn't mean that I will never be addicted to anything again, but it just has less power. It has less power over me. It's more balanced, you know, and it's also okay to be an addict sometimes, you know. It's like, if you live mostly, everything is okay, everything is perfect, right? So, you know, I'm just imagining myself like, yeah, so what if I would be on juices or coconut water and living just very lightly and being very focused on my own energy and meditating and just feeling very well in general and in good balance, and then there would be 1 or 2 days or a week of being addicted to food, and yeah, you know, so be it. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not here to be, it's not about being perfect. It's about being curious and loving this journey of learning and discovering and yeah. Yeah. Okay. See you later.